My name's Tom Pregastis. I'm a former mayor of the city from 1995 to 2000, and I was a city councilman elected in 1984. And I've been a resident since 1980. So for my 28 years here, I've asked myself, why do I keep coming back to the question of why is this place the greatest place on earth to live? And it comes down to one quick question, and I think the folks out here have hit on that, and that's community. We have a great community. We have a place that defies what other resort areas have. And it's in part because of the people that have lived here and have nurtured and have supported the kinds of things like the YMCA, like the Arts Center, like all of the hospitals, the schools. I mean, from a public school point of view, we have bond override elections that have been going on for years, and we continually vote to increase property taxes to support our public schools, notwithstanding the fact that we have numerous private schools as well. So the infrastructure in this area, in this community, is significant, and it has set us apart from virtually every other resort community in the West or around the country. And when people come here, they ask me, or we talk about, what is it about Sun Valley that makes it different? Why isn't it like Vail? Why isn't it like Jackson? Why isn't it like some of these other places? And when you get right down to it, it comes down to one word: community. And it's a sense of place. And that comes from, I should say, the people that live here. And they have supported our projects, they've supported our facilities since I have been here. The hospital is a classic example of a community coming together and raising millions of dollars for a facility that they really felt was absolutely necessary. The YMCA, if it weren't a necessary item, and if it didn't prove to be so, because it has, I mean, since the doors opened, this place has been a knockout place, we would not have raised the $20+ million that we have. So what we've done for you, and what we've done for the city of Ketchum, and what we've done for the city of Haley and Bellevue and the entire community, is leverage your dollars. We have made your recreational dollars go a lot further, because the city of Sun Valley could never have done a project like this even if it had wanted to, alone. The city of Ketchum never would have been able to do it alone. Blaine County could not have done this alone. But we did it, and we did it with the help of the city of Ketchum. And we have encouraged the city of Sun Valley to step up and be a part of that project, and to be a part of this program, and to be a part of this community in this respect. And during all of my 28 years here, every administration, including group leaders, who was mayor for God knows what, 12 years, 13 years? Bless her heart, I could not have ever done that for that long. 5 years was way more than I could handle. But every mayor since I moved here, every administration since I moved here, has been an advocate of some sort of community effort. And this council and this group should not shun that responsibility. We've been a major player. We have allowed you to say, okay, we can spend a few tens of thousands, maybe even $100,000, and we have allowed you to leverage that into a huge recreational opportunity and enhancement for the community. And that's a significant point, because in the packet that we gave you, there are literally thousands of joint ventures between governmental entities and nonprofits throughout the country. This is a customary thing to do. This is not unusual. We have several in the state of Idaho: Boise and their YMCA, Caldwell and their YMCA. This is something that councils and governments do all the time, and it's well spent money, because you don't have to spend much to get a lot. It enhances your competitiveness with the other resorts in the area. Sun Valley Company has spent hundreds of millions of dollars on new lodges, new lifts, new projects and facilities. We need to keep pace if we're going to be competitive. And this is a tourist-driven industry. We live in a resort, and the YMCA has shown, all along we said this, but we have finally been able to prove it once our doors open, that we've had a huge impact on this community. And we don't want you to forget that. Now, I've been a board member on the Y for 8 years. We have been here, we've come here on 4 or 5 other occasions, trying to explain what we do, advocating our position, hoping that you would embrace what our programs are and what we're all about. And I'm here again, and so are these folks. They're here again as well. And you haven't heard the whole spiel because you didn't get the full benefit of some of our longer sessions where we could actually go through our programs and we could tell you exactly what we were doing and what we've been able to do. So we would encourage you, if you have any doubt, please come to the YMCA. We would be glad to give you a tour. We would answer any of your questions. But our project has had a bigger impact on this community than I ever thought it would. So we were all surprised, pleasantly so. The city of Sun Valley benefits dramatically from this. It does. There are numbers between 25 and 30% of the residents are using the YMCA. There's no question that within even the boundaries of the city, our residents are benefiting. But I've always blown out the concept of city as a black line, square box, and that was our sphere of influence, and that was where our money should be spent. I've always looked at a community, I always looked at it as mayor, that the community in our sphere of influence was much broader than just our boundary. That we needed to be players with everybody else in this community. And our comp plan specifically says that we need to be regionally involved and that we need to be involved with recreational facilities. And they were sorely needed. And this facility demonstrates that point to a T. So I'm going to leave you with a couple of last items. One is, we always understood that this was a year-to-year contract for services. This was never a donation. This was never a contribution for nothing. And I remember Rand telling the council before that the words contribution, donation, and grant have no place in the discussion of what we were doing. What we were really doing was we were providing programs for the residents and for the community. You were paying us for that. It was a contract, not a grant. And that's a very important point because if you are looking at some of these other entities up here, they are providing services as well in their own little way. Secondly, we understood that we would come before you every year, and if we were not providing those services adequately, or if you didn't like what services we were providing, what programs, we would modify those or change those. But we understood this wasn't, quote, a legal commitment. We always knew that, and we honored that. We felt that by asking you for a large sum of money, that you send a message to the community at large and to everybody else that was out there, that you are a player and that you recognize the importance of our facility and our programming, and that you not just dole out a few $1,000s here or there that had no impact. We wanted you to make an impact. We wanted the city to be a player, to have an impact. That's why years ago I came before this council and I said, we don't want a $10,000 or a $20,000 donation. Give us $500,000. Say that you're really behind us. Tell the community out there that you're really for what we're doing and what we believe in, and we will prove up that we would benefit this community, and we would accept that responsibility and meet it. And I think we have. So when you go through your questions on the YMCA in particular, and any other entity that you're thinking about funding in some fashion, ask yourself two questions. Is it good for the city? And is it good for the community? And is it the right, three questions, and is it the right thing to do? Those were our sort of framework within which to ask, what do we do with this proposal here? What do we do with these people? And when you answer those questions, I think when you go down and look at what we've provided, what we've done, the YMCA will be answered yes to all three of those questions. And you should fund our contract for services. It is the right thing to do for everyone here. Thank you.